Hello there, channel members, friends, and followers from around the world. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for tonight's show. Today's a bit of an odd timing for me, but I want to welcome you guys all on board this live stream. Ryan, welcome aboard, my friend. Mikhail GXP, welcome aboard. We have also Storm Rider today, and Stan. Greetings to all of you guys, and welcome aboard. What we're going to be doing today, folks, is we are going to be conducting a full flight from Christchurch International to Auckland in New Zealand aboard the PMDG 736 in order to assess a brand new app called MSFS Flights, as the title of this live stream suggests. And the developer has reached out to me and provided me with access to the app to test it out and show it to you guys here on the channel. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to set up the aircraft. The agenda is that we're going to set up the aircraft for departure right before we start our engines. We're going to take a look at the app. And once we are through, we're going to make a brief overview of the app, and then we're going to conduct our flight. We're going to land at Auckland in New Zealand, and then we're going to take another look at the app, and we're going to look at some more details so that you guys can get full appreciation of what the app can do. I will give you, of course, my honest opinion about the app and whether it's worth the investment or not. This is a paid app. It's not free. So let's get started. Sandra, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us. And let's get things started. This scenery, by the way, is payware scenery, and the links are available in chat command as usual through chat command !scenery. All right, so let's go to this is where we are. This is our aircraft today, the PMDG 737-600. And the baby Boeing, which is an aircraft I really like a lot. And let's hop into the cockpit and get things started. So we are, what did I do? Did I just take a screenshot? I certainly did. I wanted to do something else. There we go. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to turn on the battery and standby power. And now we can fiddle around with the rest of the aircraft, bring up the ground power unit and power it up. So we're going to go to PMDG FS Actions, ground services. We're going to request the ground power. And once ground power is there, the chocks are set, so we're good there. We can go to the fuel. We're going to bring up the SimBrief plan. Here, let's fetch our plan and get the fuel information. So the block fuel today is 15637. 15637. All right, excellent. And the payload for the flight is going to be, let's see here. Zero fuel is 110.145. 110.145. All right, zero fuel is set. We have all our passengers or cargo all set. Excellent. Let's go back here, and now we can bring up GSX as well. And we're going to request boarding.
Boarding requested.
All right, boarding is requested. Excellent. And now we can start prepping the aircraft. All right. Let's see, let's bring up external power. All right, here's the jetway connected to the aircraft. And we can start boarding the cabin crew, pilots, and passengers shortly. Excellent. Okay, so let's perform the quick tests. Okay, we're just going to say both.
Pilots boarding starting.
All right. So we're going to go here and we're going to test the APU and the engine fire test as well. All right, APU is good. And cargo fire test as well. Excellent. Checks okay, and there we go. Excellent. So all the tests here are okay. Let's test the lights. All the lights check okay. Excellent. And we can now head over to the overhead panel and test the Mach speed warning test 1 and 2. Stall warning 1 and 2. They kind of take a little time before they are available. So we'll do the rest of the devices here. Brad, member for 6 months, private pilot. Thank you very much, sir, for your support. Omar Wali, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us. All right, let's go ahead and set the ADIRS to nav mode. Right, ADIRS are set. And now we can move to the overhead panel. And we can turn on the yaw damper. And we're going to also turn on the left aft fuel pump so that we can turn on the APU momentarily. Emergency lights are armed. We're going to turn on the fasten seat belt and non-smoking signs. We're going to turn on the window heat. Window heat is on. Hydraulics are on. And let's see here, left pack, right pack, all of the packs here are off, so we can leave those here. We can leave them in the current position. All right, if we look here at our flight plan, we are Air New Zealand 570. This is a real-world flight flown aboard an A320, but we're going to do it on the 736 today. Flight level 390. That seems a bit excessive, but that's all right. We'll just keep it there. We'll do what it says. 390 is set, and the position light is on steady, and everything here is configured for the time being. So let's head over to the FMC. All right, FMC, and we're going to go here, and we're going to go to position in it, and we're going to select November Charlie Hotel, which is Christchurch International Airport in New Zealand. We're going to select our current GPS position, and now we have alignment. We're going to go to the route and request the plan. We need to remove that and request the plan. All right, so this is our plan today from Christchurch International to Auckland. So we're going to select that and request. There we go. That should populate everything for us, just kind of in the interest of time. All right, message here, load. Let's go ahead and load the flight plan. And the uplink is now loading. Ladies and gentlemen, my FS Flights is in the house. Good evening to you, sir. Happy to answer any questions on that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and activate the flight plan now. Excellent. And next up, we're going to go to... Now, by the way, if we go to the legs, we have everything here, so we just need to enter the departure and arrival. So, the departure today, if we go to the row flight plan, you can see the departures through runway 02, and the Gada 1 Papa, which is this one here, is our departure. And the transition is the Glen transition. Select it and execute. The route is already there, so we're going to come back here and select our arrival. The arrival is through the Davy 6 Alpha. Davy 6 Alpha. Right, that's the one here, Davy 6 Alpha, or the Dave 6 Alpha. And the approach is going to be through runway 23 left. VDM, let's see, we'll do the ILS 23 left. How about that? All right. And I believe there is no transition. Right, if we look here on the raw flight plan, MROG is the final fix before we reach runway 23. So we're just going to say execute. We're going to go to the legs page, make sure there are no discontinuities. And it looks like there aren't any discontinuities, which is good. Excellent. We're going to go to the performance initialization, and the zero fuel is 110. We still have quite a bit of passengers to load, by the way. The reserve fuel is, if we go back here and go to the summary here on the payload, reserve fuel, final reserves, 2-1, alternate fuel, final reserve, and the alternative is 7.95. So we're just going to put 8. With a cost index today of 7 and final cruise altitude 390. Cruise winds, if we go to the weather, we want the TOC wind. That would be 27967. 27967. And the transition altitude, I'm not sure it's 18,000. I believe it's unable. All right, we'll fix this to 80 in a second. Do we have the transition altitude in New Zealand? I believe it's 13,000 feet, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure. All right, let's go ahead and click there. Request prefer. We can actually request the initialization from the SimBrief plan, but let's go ahead and go to, we're going to derate our takeoff today. We're going to select flap 5 for departure. Select the center of gravity, 5.39 for the trim, with speeds of 122 for V1 and V rotate, and 130 for V2. Okay, so we're going to set 130 right here for V2. 130. All right. Excellent. And we're going to set the altitude to the final cruise altitude of 39,000 feet. All right, 39,000. All right. All right, perfect. 39 is set. The altimeter is set. Everything here is good. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and start the APU. Right, APU is now starting. And we can leave everything else as it is. Okay. Flight directors are on, and the auto brake to rejected takeoff. Perfect. Don, hello, Don. Welcome aboard. Good evening to you, my friend. All right. So now, folks, what we're going to do is, while the passengers load the aircraft and the baggage is being also loaded, what we're going to do, I see the aircraft departing on the other side. That's runway 20. I'm not sure why we got runway 02, but that's all right. All right, so that's our departure runway right there. All right, so let me bring up my FS flights. Now, what this app essentially does is it provides very detailed analysis on your flight, all stages of the flight. It's got some really nice features, and it works exactly as advertised in terms of providing you with very detailed analysis and tracking of your flight. And if you look here, it says welcome Q8 pilot. It's been 14 hours since your last flight, so I did initially a very short flight from one of my favorite airports, Lima 52, to San Luis County Regional Airport in the States, about 9 minutes in the Cessna 172 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And we're going to take a look at this flight, but very quickly, let me give you an overview here of what you'll see when you get this app. You have some flight suggestions, and this depends on what you put here in search. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So it's suggesting some flights from East Midlands Airport to various destinations. I'm not sure if those are real-world flights or those are just suggestions based on the proximity to the origin airport. Got the leaderboard here, the flight distance, you want to put flight score, airport visited, and the last 30 days. You've got all the scores here. Obviously, I'm not one of the guys in the leaderboard. And then you've got the flight plan. So anything you file in terms of a flight plan, you'll see here. So this is the one I did earlier this morning from Lima 52 to San Luis Obispo. And this is our current flight from Christchurch International to Auckland International in New Zealand. Also, what it does it actually compares your score to the global score. So this way you know how well you're doing in all phases of flight. If you look here, we've got taxi, arrival, rollout, touchdown, landing, final 1, 2, 3, 4, descend, level, climb, climb 3, 2, 1, and roll. As you can see, very, very detailed. There's a nice little icon here with a question mark that says this radar chart compares your average scores to the average score of all other pilots by flight stage, and we'll get to that in a minute. But overall, I do like what this app does, and it's got also a nice map here, and it's very hard to see with the red color. It basically these boxes have a percentage indicating how much of that specific continent you have covered. So if we go to North America, it's the only one with some coverage at this point, because we've flown earlier this morning, and the map is actually bigger than this. I'm not sure why it's kind of showing a small map now. Maybe if I change there we go. All right, so let me do this. Looks like when you maximize it, it doesn't give you the full map, so let's do this. Alright, so I think you can see the map a lot better now. And there's also the search function. So as you can see here, I have a departure airport filter, and I have East Midlands Airport. You can search by continent, country, region, the runway surface. So let's say that you want a grass runway, you can simply select this. So I can come here and clear this, and I'm just going to say I want a grass runway, and we'll leave the length. Let's see, wind speed. We can just say search, and now as you can see here, we have all these airports that you can immediately add to your plan, and it gives you a departure and destination airport that you can save as a flight plan. Now, part of the roadmap, currently it does not have SimBrief integration, but that is part of the roadmap, and also Navigraph integration is a planned feature. At this point it's not there, but you can see what this actually does. It just really searches based on a very defined criteria. It gives you very granular control. Now, if you go back to the home page, now you'll see that the flight suggestions that you're getting here is based on the search that you perform, which is very nice. It adapts to what you like to search for, which in my view is a nice feature. I like this feature because one of the things that we flight simmers sometimes fail to do well is to think of where should I fly next, and this is a nice feature to have. Now, I've seen this feature in random flight database. It gives you something similar to this, but I think it's done very well here in this app. All right, we've taken a brief look at the search. If you go to the plans, you'll have all the plans that you filed here, and if we go to the flights, this is where it gets very interesting. Now, very quickly, we're going to take a look at this, but we're going to take a look at more details once we land at Auckland. This is the flight I performed earlier this morning, and if we look here, as you can see here, it has the departure and arrival, and then it's got the scores for the flight. Entire flight score is 89.9. with a departure score of 91.1, en route score, and an arrival score. We're going to take a look at one of those. Let's go ahead and take, for example, the flight map. And one of the things I like about the flight map is where it's not loading for some reason. Maybe it's it. There we go. Right, just took some time to load. All right. So here you can see this, and by the way, you can zoom in and you can move around as well. You can see here, this is I love the way the developer has built the route. You can see here as I zoom in, it's got all the details. So this is my roll, taxi departure, climb 1, climb 2, this is the turn, and as we climb, and then level over here, and then it's the arrival into San Luis Obispo with the, again, if you look here, you have all the details here. Final one, flaps position, it shows you exactly where you've where the flap position has changed. Final landing, and by the way, all of these are clickable, so if I click on final one, it will give me the entire analysis for this particular stage. It will show me where I've done well and where I haven't done so well. It says average bank angle 1.1 degrees, 0.0 minimum to max, and it shows you the start and the end of the graph representing visually how well you perform. There are also informational items, which is also good to have, but we're going to take a look at more details of this once we are. You have also, by the way, the takeoff report, all the stages here. So if I look here, these are all the stages. We have a full takeoff report, takeoff history, landing report, and landing history, as well as the metrics. We're going to take a look at more details once we arrive into Auckland. So right now, I think we are more than likely ready to go. So let's hop back into the cockpit, and we are going to turn on the fuel pumps. We're going to turn on the APU gens and turn on the APU bleed. Left pack, everything here looks good. All right, let's go ahead and turn on the anti-collision lights. And everything here is set. Let's go ahead and call the pushback truck. So we're going to come here to GSX, and we're going to say boarding is completed. As you can see, let's prepare for pushback and departure. All right. Fundus TTV, welcome aboard, my friend. Good evening to you. We have you with us from Germany. How cool.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
All right, we are ready for pushback. Excellent. So what we're going to do is let's come down here real quick and set our parking brake. And we are going to remove the chocks, and that will automatically remove the ground power unit. Right, let's set this to climb. Right, here's the pushback truck.
Locking gear.
Right, locking gear.
Interline 626 delivery cleared in a file direct. Cairns to departure. Climb by 6,000.
Here's the ground crew
421. Departure frequency.
locking the gear. I'm doing very well, thanks for asking. Pumpkin, the ATC audio is from FS Chatter. Alright, so we are going to do nose to the right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Alright, let's go and release the parking brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, starting at will. Let's go ahead and begin with engine number 2. And engine number 2 is now spooling.
Victor Papa Charlie Golf Oscar delivery.
What do we have here?
Charlie Golf Oscar, our departure time is
The engine isn't spooling for some reason.
which
Do we need this open? Yeah, there we go. Alright.
Standing
by.
Right, spooling engine number 2. Excellent. Very nice rendition of Christchurch International. All right, good here. Let's go and give it some fuel.
Delivery, good morning, helicopter Zulu Delta Mike.
Zulu Delta Mike delivery.
Yeah, good morning, man.
Mossy, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Hey, is DX12 better than DX11? To be completely honest with you, the quick answer is no, it is not at this point because it's not fully optimized yet. But it is required for the frame generation on the 4090 card. So I am running in DX12. All right, we have a good start on engine number 1. Let's go ahead and start into first. We are going to turn on this back. Isolation valve is closed, and this can go on, and now we can start the engine number 1. Parking brake is set. Engine number 1 is now spooling, and it's going to wait for our confirmation of good engine start. So let's go ahead to GSX and confirm.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You
Right, excellent. You're most welcome, Mossy. And thank you very much for being here, sir. All right. And we can now start fuel. Right, and we're starting engine number 1. Right. So if we go now here, if I go to the plans, yeah, it's still not showing complete, but there is a little client that runs here, and it says, you see here, it says flight recording. So it has actually automatically detected the flight, that the flight is running. We'll take a look at the client once we arrive as well. It's a very lightweight client, doesn't really take much resources, but yeah, all is good. All right, so we're just missing the truck now, and we can, let's see, we have a good start on both engines. So we're going to come again to the overhead panel, and we're going to turn on, let's see here, flight controls. All right, there we go. That's much better. Probe heat can go on. Engine NTI is not required. Let's turn on the generators, and now we can see the DC amps. Excellent. Recirc fan on auto. Left pack on auto. Isolation valve on auto, and the right pack on auto as well. We can turn on the bleeds and turn off the APU bleed, and engine start switches on continuous, and we can now turn off the APU. Brilliant. And runway turn-off lights, taxi lights are on, and we're good here. All right, let's go ahead and set our flaps. Flaps 5 for departure. And now flight control, my FS flights is now recording everything that we do in order to provide better analysis or accurate analysis. You can also view the flight on the map live. Oh, good. Let's take a look at that. All right, so if we go to the map, and now it's going to go all the way to where we are, it looks like. There we are. All right, let's come here and let's zoom in. So it doesn't seem like it's got an auto follow me, so we kind of have to go to it, but that's us right there. There you go, and it has my information, kind of similar to Volanta and SimToolkit Pro. So this is where we are, our current heading, the type of aircraft we're flying, and where we're flying to, which is cool. A few flight details, and if we look here, this is the flight details that we have so far. Okay, all right, brilliant. Let's go back to home. We'll leave it there, and let's minimize this. Looks like there's an aircraft coming to land, so it looks like we do have the correct runway selection. All right, perfect. We are good to go, and we have clearance from ground crew. Let's release the parking brake and head over to the runway. Excellent. There we go, and let's give it some power. The PMDG fleet has been updated for Sim Update 12 with a host of fixes and features, and it's just really, I love everything from PMDG. All right, perfect. We can go to, let's see, departure tower. Right, perfect. Everything is set. We are ready to go. And here's a look at the beautiful PMDG 737-600 and the Air New Zealand delivery. And a look at the beautiful airport as well. Very nice rendition. Highly recommended airport. Well, let's slow down, let this truck pass. So once we land at Auckland, we're going to take a look at all the details that MyFS Flights provides. And then, of course, you know, you'll get the regular Q8 pilot thoughts and recommendations afterwards. What I'd like to see in this app, and I think that one thing I noticed that it does not allow you to import your flights from other apps. And that, I think, would be a very nice feature to be able to. I understand that probably the data that it requires is not available in the other apps, and so it might not be very useful to do that. But yeah, I'm sure it records a lot more data than, you know, what the other apps do. So, but just food for thought. All right, let's decrease. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to TARA. All right, perfect. And by the way, we did not set our trim, so let's set the trim to 5.4. 5.4. Okay. There we go. Let's put it on the back on the center line. There we go. Excellent. Here's a wing view for you guys. Look at that. All right, we're looking good. Almost at the vulture point for runway 02 here at Christchurch International. I'm glad you like it, Ryan. Right, we're going to go to the far end of the taxiway. I really like this airport a lot. You can see there's a construction area here to our left, which has been modeled. Yeah, it looks like some construction is going there. Very, very nice details. Very nice clutter around the airport. And that's our turn. Nice day here in New Zealand. We're going to be doing more flights in New Zealand with World Update 12. It's just really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rendition of New Zealand. Looks like some cattle there. Yeah, looks like some sheep there. I can see. How cool! Just really very, very nice details on this rendition of Christchurch International. All right, we're approaching runway 02, folks. We're going to turn on the landing lights and strobe lights on. Wing lights are on, and auto throttle is armed, and we are cleared for takeoff. All right, no incomings. Runway is clear. All right, here we go. All right, let's take it to 40% N1. Let's start the clock. And toga. Make sure we're on the center line. Otherwise, my FS Flights is going to penalize us for it. So we'll keep the center line here. 80 knots check. Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gears going up. Just absolutely beautiful departure out of Christchurch International. Let's begin our turn. And we'll keep about 15-degree pitch. Right, we can engage VNAV. And LNAV. Right, speed check, and we can begin retracting the flaps. First, let's engage Command A. Command A is engaged. Let's go ahead and track the flaps. Landing gear to the off position. Flaps are up. Just look at the beautiful scenery here as we depart Christchurch International in New Zealand. I love the sheer amount of data captured by my FS Flights. The amount of data is unbelievable. We'll take a look at that in just a second here once we are stable here on our climb. Right, let's take a look here. We're going to put the engine start selector to the off position and continue our climb. Very nice wing flex there. And we continue the climb through 5,000 for 39,000. Alright, we can set the range to 40 nautical miles. Let's bring up our climb profile. Excellent. Climb profile is set here. And we're going to put the, let's put the terrain on this side. And we're going to put the weather on the first officer side. Excellent. Auto brake to off, and we are good. Very, very nice. The terrain across New Zealand is just breathtaking. Very, very nice. I have found a couple of places where I think our next flights are going to be, and we're going to be going back to doing the GA aircraft again. Yes, Q8, you can check your flight on the map. My FS Flight Live. Cool. Happy Friday, Kenny Myers. How are you doing, my friend? Alright, we're approaching 10,000 feet. Landing lights are off. Runway turnoff lights and taxi lights are off. And the wing lights are off as well. And alright, we are now looking good. And continuing, we're going to continue our climb to 39,000 feet. All right. So while we do that, let me bring up again my FS Flights. And what I'd like to show you guys is in the flight. So now, by the way, you can see here we already have the status of our flight. It says still 0%. We're just departing right now, so it doesn't have much information about this flight, but if we go to this flight and we are going to go to, for example, let's see, we're going to go to takeoff report, okay? Now from the takeoff report, you'll see the height at end of the runway, all right? So the height of the end of the runway in feet, and it shows the runway distance, so it shows exactly how we climb out of Lima 52. Says the runway alignment to the end of the runway. So this is where I took off, and then I steered off as I climbed, and this probably wasn't a very good thing to do. The climb profile, as you can see here, the heading alignment again wasn't, I did not stay on the runway there, so a little off. So it should have been on the center line until you clear the runway. So it does provide you with very good analysis. Now, if you click here, it says the roll distance 316 meters using 44.2% of the runway. If you click on more, you'll get even more details on your distance, the lift-off speed, the runway alignment, average G-force. All of the information is provided to you for very, very detailed analysis of how well you perform this takeoff run. Similarly, if we go to climb 1 and click here, it gives you all the information there. And again, it gives you the same for climb 2, departure climb to 400 feet AGL from 29er, which is runway 29 on Lima 52. So it gives you all the details of where you've done well, where you haven't done well. Looks like average bank angle wasn't very good, and it's got some of the informational items as well here to help you understand how well you perform. Now, in my view, I have not seen this level of detail in any application. The only app that has some resemblance to this is FS Flying School, where it actually rates you on your takeoff, landing. It kind of gives you a report that is kind of similar to this, but it's no way near as detailed as this report. And if you go, by the way, to the takeoff history, now we have we have this one. We still don't have the report for the last flight, and you'll get it once we shut down the engines. But if we go to the landing report, you'll find exactly the same amount of details on the landing. Look at this. This is actually, as I landed at San Luis Obispo, this is where I actually exited, on the taxiway. So, and it shows you the approach runway alignment, which was, not bad. It was all right. And here you have all your scores again, the final, landing, touchdown, and rollout. And if we look here at final, it says glide slope alignment too low, grade heading alignment. All right, so that's how it rates you. And if you click more, again, it will give you, look at just the amount of details that it provides you with in order for you to analyze your landings and your flight, your entire flight throughout the stages of your flight, and improve your flying skills. So this is the level of detail is unprecedented, really. A lot of work has gone into making this app. Obviously, this app is not for everyone, in my view, because not everyone is concerned about how well they performed. But for me, and by the way, another application that has some resemblance to this is Simbit World, but again, it's not as detailed as this. I haven't really seen anything as detailed as this, so kudos to the developer on really taking the time to to bring all these details and all this detailed analysis for those who are very serious about their flying. Let's see here, what does this do? I haven't really taken a look at this. All right, so this one looks like the G-force, the pitch, attitude or altitude, and it looks like this is ground speed. And again, everything is flight duration. Everything is presented to you visually: ground height, altitude, ground knots, indicated knots. Yeah, very, very detailed. We're going to go back to the map, and let's see here. If we go back to the map, now it should show us actually heading over to Auckland. So that's us right there. This is Church Christ. You can see here that we've already moved away from the departure airport. and now it's reading the altitude and speed and a heading of 15 degrees. All right, perfect. So once we land, we're going to take a look at how well we've done during this flight. Looks like we've reached the 18,000 feet. So yeah, it is definitely very useful application for those who are looking to improve on their flying skills, and they are very serious about their performance during all stages of flight. Let's take a quick look at the outside and admire just the beautiful terrain here in New Zealand. Again, here you can see very nice terrain, very mountainous, very green in some places, and just makes for a very picturesque experience flying over New Zealand. Yeah, just absolutely brilliant. Here's a wing view with a nice wing flex, and back in the cockpit things are looking good. We continue our climb to 39,000 feet, about 10,000 feet to go, and all aircraft systems are operational per design intent. Nothing is alarming at this point in time. All right, perfect. How much is the app? Not sure if you said it. No, so I did not say that. Well, we can. We'll check it out. I think the monthly fee. There are tiers, and each tier gives you more options and features. So it starts at £1, £2, and then £3. I think is the ultimate plan. So it's not really much. It doesn't really cost that much. And in my view, if you like, if you're serious about your flying and you like this amount of details, I think it's a very small fee to pay to support the developer on continuing the development of the app. Now, one thing I will say, I would love to be able to actually. Now I know the app is in the roadmap. Two very important features are coming, which is integration with Navigraph and integration with SimBrief. And I think with those two features, especially the SimBrief integration, I think it's going to make it a lot more useful in my view. Because it is today, you cannot really plan your flight here. It will give you the suggestions, as we've witnessed from the search box, so you can go and search for whatever you like. You can go to a very granular detail in selecting what you want in terms of the runway surface. Maybe you want to depart from a grass runway and arrive into maybe an asphalt runway, but you want it to be a wet runway. So you have that, granularity in selecting exactly what you want, and that is something I really appreciate. I do like that a lot. Yeah, sound fair. I was kind of expecting an absurdly high one-time payment. No, nothing like that. How much is the yeah? So I think it's very reasonably priced by the developer. I think it's a very trivial fee. And for the amount of work that has gone into this app, I think, yeah, it's definitely worth it. For me, at least, I think it's worth the price. We'll take a look at the tiers once we are done with analyzing this flight. Once we land into Auckland, shouldn't be, by the way, a very long flight today. We are about 27 nautical miles from the top of the climb, and 35,000 feet. And again, here's the look. Look at this. Just looks absolutely gorgeous. I still, by the way, like the landings in the Zebo more than I do in the PMDG in MSFS. I do like it just the same in P3D, but in MSFS there is something not right. and I can't put my hands on it, but something is not exactly right. By the way, this app, My FS Flights, work for all our favorite simulators. It works with MSFS 2020, works with X-Plane, and it works with P3D. So it works with all of them, which is pretty cool. At the moment, you can only add user waypoints to the flight route. Oh, okay, I see. Thanks for the clarification there, My MS Flights. Appreciate it. Andrew Roberts, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us. Yeah, it looks like yesterday during the live stream, there was a mix-up. And some people were not very kind, but that's okay. But the thing is, so what happened is I have some latency set on the chat, but also the problem is I use Streamlabs OBS to run the giveaways, and while things were happening on chat, I was actually on a completely different window looking at Streamlabs OBS. When somebody is selected as a winner and when they type anything in chat, I will get it into Streamlabs OBS and not on the YouTube chat. So it looks like there was some latency yesterday, more than usual, and that has led to a lot of confusion on my part. And yeah, some people were not very nice, and but that's all right. That's okay. On a positive note, one of the leading developers for X-Plane has made a very generous donation to the Fly Lilo non-profit organization to help support my efforts to help that organization really help the disabled in our flight sim community. And I stand strong behind the Fly Lilo nonprofit organization for their cause, and I wish them all the success. Again, for those of you who still are unaware of what they do, you can visit the Fly Lilo website for more information, and you can also head over to my very good friend Mark, the sim hanger. He's also made a video, a short interview with Roberto from the Fly Lilo project, where he actually again talks about the project in details with Roberto. All right, we are at cruise altitude, ladies and gentlemen. That's correct, Stan. There was also latency on the chat side. There is definitely a lot of latency there. German, hello, my friend. Good evening to you. May I make a suggestion? Why not give 10 seconds, but make sure no one posts anything in those 10 seconds to give the winner a chance, because the chat was moving so fast. You had no... Yeah, I agree with you there, German. That's a good suggestion, and I will heed your advice, my friend, in the upcoming streams and giveaways. But some people were just really very unkind, but that's okay. That's okay. That's all right. All right, so we are looking good, ladies and gentlemen. We are at our cruise altitude, TD, in 161 nautical miles, not too far from now. And it should be a beautiful approach into Auckland, a very nice airport to land at. And yeah, quite looking forward to landing there at Auckland. Here's a look at the outside, the beautiful mountains. Look at that. It's always a pleasure flying over New Zealand. It's a bit of a late stream today for me, so it is approaching midnight here on Friday. So yeah, it's 11:55 p.m. right now in Kuwait. But today is Friday, and normally I do the family visits on Friday. So and hence I had to delay this stream a little bit until 11 p.m. Kuwait time. But yeah, I'm still quite awake. Also, don't listen to those unkind people. They were probably sad they didn't win. That's okay. I do understand that. And by the way, I'll tell you what has happened after. So it happens with normally giveaways with a lot of people. And yesterday there was quite a crowd on chat. But here's what they do. They go and this is really pisses me off because it makes things very difficult for me. But here's what they do. So, you know, they hear me saying that I need a profile, right? A profile page of the winner. So what they go and do, they go to the profile, the winner's profile page. They take a screenshot, but they don't take the full screenshot because obviously they cannot show that they are logged into that account. And it's very easy for me to detect whether they're logged in or not. And then I go to the About section and check the emails. So I received, for Ricardo, I received about five different emails from people claiming to be Ricardo. And they're saying, oh yeah, I think I won, and thank you, and it's okay, chat was too fast. And I just ignored them. One of them I replied. The first one I received that wasn't Ricardo. I replied and I say, please don't do this. You haven't won, so please don't do it. Yeah, Sander. Yeah, that's what they do. So sometimes it gets very confusing. But yeah, and that for that reason, by the way, I tell them to give me the screenshot, the full screenshot of them logged into their account, so that I can verify that that's indeed the person who's won. So plus the moderators and a bunch of others on chat were trying to catch your attention, utter chaos, but all. Yeah, I know, Stan. I know the moderators were trying to. I know Carl has put in a super chat, and you know, just to kind of get my attention. And I finally got caught up with the chat and resolved the issue. And you know, it's my pleasure to have given a fourth copy. That's okay. You know, it was my pleasure. I was very happy that I made you guys happy. So it was not a problem at all. Only I was, you know, the kindness was equaled by one of the leading developers in the X-Plane world with a donation on their part for the Fly Lilo project. So they made my day this afternoon, and I'm very grateful for whatever they've done. And the donation that they've made for the Fly Lilo project was a very, very kind and very nice gesture. All is well that ends well. Yep, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the chat wasn't getting right to me. Yeah, that's exactly right, Stan. That was the crux of the issue. But all is well. All right, so we are at about 127 nautical miles from top of descent. And we're going to start prepping for our approach. So I'm going to head over here to the FMC. We're going to go to Init, approach reference. And now we can see the ILS frequency is noted here, 109.9 with an approach course of 231. And also we can put the flap setting. So we're flight, as you can see, the speeds are not the speeds we're accustomed to in the 800 and 900 variant, as this is a much smaller aircraft. But we're going to do flaps 30, and we're going to add 5 knots to the wind. That gives us a final speed of 134. So we're going to say 30 and 134. And yep, all right, so that's set. And then we are going to set the ILS frequency right here. So let's change this to ILS, and the frequency is 109.9, so 109.9, and we're gonna make that the active frequency. So that is now set. I love this. All right, lots of inops here again, still for the weather. I'm not sure when is the weather going to come to the PMDG in Phoenix, and we're going to do the same thing here. So let's select. I love the fact that it supports GLS runways as well, and we're going to select 109er decimal 9er 109er decimal 9er, and make that the active. Excellent. And then the approach course is 231 degrees, and we're going to set this on the first officer and captain sides. So 231 for the approach course. 231 is set, and we're going to set it on the first officer's side at 231, and there we go. All right, so the course is set on both sides, and we are ready to begin the descent in about 112 nautical miles. All right, so we can come here, and if we look here at the legs, yeah, we can see here we're not too far. We can use, by the way, time compression. If you guys like me to do that, we can definitely do that. We are 26 minutes into our flight so far from departure. And we're looking good. Yeah. By the way, the cabin, I really like the cabin of the PMDG here. If look at this cabin. This is really nice. Yeah. They've done a really good job there. Right, here we go. Go back to the cockpit. Guys, look at this view. Wow, look at that. Lovely. Just lovely. All right. Back in the captain's seat. Everything is looking good. And thank you very much there, Stan. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support always. And we are looking good. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and use a little bit of time compression here, and it's just going to mean that we're going to arrive at our destination a bit early. I'm not sure what effect it will have on my FS flights. Hopefully none. And as soon as we arrive into top descent, we'll disable it. But just to minimize the cruise time. And ladies and gentlemen, Carl Childers is in the house. Welcome, Carl. Thank you very much for your support. No worries. No need to be sorry. I do understand that a lot of you guys work, so I'm glad that you made it. Right, so yeah, 78 nautical miles, 77. All right, so we're degree. All right, so what we need to do is we need the final approach altitude, which is going to be 3,000. So we're going to reset the MCP altitude to 3,000 feet. And by the way, I think I forgot to set. I'll check it. 3,000. All right, 3,000 is set. Did we set this to 39? Yes, we sure did. Okay, all right. All right, perfect. All right, so this is the top of descent, 65 nautical miles before we begin the descent towards Auckland. Jafar, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Thanks for the late stream. Now I can watch it live. You can share a live flight link with anyone. They don't need my FS Flight account to... oh, really? All right, so let me disable this here. There we go. All right, let's bring up... all right, so if I go to the flight... Auckland, where did it... Let's see here. Where can I do this? We don't need my FSI on the summary page. All right, let's go to the summary page. Let's see here. Is it somewhere here? Flight plans, view flights. We can do here. All right, so this is the summary page. And where do I share this? Takeoff stage comparison. Not sure. Ah, there you go. Alright, so we can share this here. Ah, look at that. So we can go, for example, this is manually copy the link for this flight. So let me copy. So copy to clipboard. And if I come here and paste it, and I paste that, let's see here. No, that doesn't, not sure. Shared by Q8 pilot. Is that what is going to show them? I'm not, I don't follow. Alright, so this is Friday, 43 minutes, fuel. It's got all the information. Departure score 95.5. En route score is 78 point, I don't know, 78.1 thus far. Let's take a look later and see why. Alright, let's go back to the home page. We'll leave it here for now. And let's see, we are close to top descent now. Can you paste it in chat? How do I don't think I can paste it in chat unless I go to the alright, so let me do this. Let's see here. I would have to go to my YouTube channel and let's do this. Alright, let's go to your channel. And I am going to paste it here. Sorry, because the... Alright, so you have it here. Alright, there we go. So you guys can click it and see what it gives you. Yep, it's there. Alright, perfect. Alright, so we've reset the MCP altitude to 3,000 feet. The ILS frequencies are set 109.9er, 34 nautical miles to top of descent. One thing, guys, before we forget, I want the what do you call it? Flight control replay for MSFS. Let's turn that on. Alright, it's connected, and then I can access it from the flow. Look at that beautiful, beautiful mountain. What is it called? Anyone from New Zealand? It's got a very famous name. I can't recall the name now. But yeah, very, very nice. And by the way, once you see this mountain, you know that you're very close to Auckland. Bill Barrett, welcome aboard, my friend. Yeah, that's a really nice feature, and you can, by the way, you can, oh, thank you. We have another donation for the Fly Lilo project. Thank you very much, guys. And by the way, you can also share it via WhatsApp if you use it. You can do it through email, Twitter, Facebook. You can share that link anywhere you like. So from an accessibility perspective, I think, again, it's well done. Right, here's our turn. Top of descent coming up shortly here. And the aircraft should begin the automatic descent momentarily. Alright, let's take a look at the outside. Guys, look at this view. Wow. This looks really nice. Brilliant. Tranaki shows on the 3D map in FS flights. Good evening, Joe. How are you doing, my friend? Is it Joe or Joa? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. DB Vetter, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome aboard. Thank you again, guys. Thank you for everyone who's made a donation to the Fly Lilo project. I truly, truly appreciate it. And for our next flight, we're going to be flying again. We're going to go back to flying the GA aircraft, and probably again in New Zealand. There's just so many nice places to fly in New Zealand, just really breathtaking scenery. And I have to give it to Asobo and Microsoft. They've done a phenomenal job at some of the handcrafted airports. Andy, hello my friend. The link you pasted has a map you can view. It should, yeah. Portuguese name, it's very hard to pronounce it. You can call me JC. JC works for me. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it, my friend. And welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us, JC. All right, here is the top of descent, and we're going to begin the descent shortly into Auckland, New Zealand, ladies and gentlemen. About 40 minutes, including the time that we used the compression, so probably would have taken us a bit longer. But overall, not a very long flight, about 1 hour and 20 minutes in total. So we've shortened that to less than an hour.
Good morning, continue approach threshold, wind 270 degrees, 7 knots.
I love the mountains. All right, here's top of descent. And we're descending all the way from 36,000 feet to clear. Thank you very much, JC. I appreciate it. Appreciate your kind words and your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, top of descent. The aircraft has begun the automatic descent. And 25, if we keep it under 2,600 feet per minute, I think we should get a good score from my FS flights. But if it goes more than that, I think our score will be affected. There is one more thing we needed to do in the FMC. So, next page. Where is it? 280. This one here needs to change to 247. Alright, so 247. And let's do that. Execute. Alright, so now we're good. Excellent. Perfect. And by the way, we can also, one of the things I like to do is if we go to, that's runway 23 left. So we'll say RW 23 left, and we're going to create a 10 nautical mile range and another one at 20, and this will give us a couple of circles around the runway at the 10 and 20 nautical mile radius. Now if I switch to plan, alright, and let's go ahead and step through. So let's go to like step through. Now you can see those two circles clearly. See, this is the 20 nautical mile range, and this is the 10. This is the runway, and this is the final, this is where we're going to decel. So it's very clear what we need to do once we are here. Again, these circles are created for situational awareness, nothing else. Doesn't really affect the navigation or anything like that. And I think that according to the approach plate, this actually should be a DME arc, but I don't think that that PMDG in Microsoft Flight Simulator is able to draw DME arcs. So yeah. Alright, cool. We'll put this back to map. By the way, we can bring our descent profile here. You can see it here. And we can bring up the traffic as well on this page, and we can bring it here as well. Brilliant. All right, perfect. Down to 33 for 3,000.
165 Central, Starline Green Pleasant, heading to center 6,000.
JC, I do too work as a volunteer with a non-profit organization. Very rewarding. Absolutely, JC. Very, very rewarding indeed. Does the module have a terrain radar? You mean here? Yeah, it's got the terrain radar. The PMDG does have it. Happy Ramadan, Captain. Thank you very much, DZ Aviation. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Right, here we go. By the way, the approach, depending on where we arrive into Auckland, is just really a breathtaking approach into Auckland. Two airports I really like landing at, Auckland and Wellington. Wellington is even better because it's surrounded by water, so it looks just really phenomenal. Sorry, Kuwait must go. Stream was a bit late for me. Happy landings. Thank you very much, German. I do understand. Take care, my friend. Sander asks, why would PMDG not be able to draw DME ranges? Isn't it just a math formula? It is, but I'm not sure why, really. Hey there, Roberto. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome aboard. Right, if we take a look here, let's take a look at the map again. See where we are now. And that's us right there. Heading 1 degrees. We are at 30,000 feet. Yeah. Ah, look at that. You can actually change the orientation of the map. And as you zoom in, oh, how cool is that? Obviously, that's us right there. 3D map, very nice. Can use some work, the actual map, and I think, yeah, there is a map setting, so I think the premium version gives you the ability to change this to light, dark, satellite. Let's try satellite. Let's see what we get. Alright, where are we? So we don't get the aircraft with the satellite map. Let's go back to topology. Or maybe it takes time to load. No, that's us right there.
Good morning. Mike Deloretta with you requesting visual contact clearance. Hotel 9, Hotel 1. Mike Deloretta,
I think my internet connection is... Alright, very good. Ah! Page unresponsive. Let's wait. Alright, let's do... I'm not sure what not sure what went wrong here, but it looks like this page is stuck. Alright.
X-ray Victor Zulu. Further 5 inbound. Hold out to clearance limit, report approaching. And traffic will be Mike Deloretta from Hotel 1 outbound in about 2 minutes on the barracks.
Alright, I'm just going to close that one. And we'll have this one here. Plan, flights. Flight is still in progress. Alright, perfect. We'll worry about the map a little later. We'll fiddle around with it. Alright. So we are 25. In Kuwait, it's 12:20 a.m. That is correct, Carl. Yes. You can see the flight profile. Oh, can you? My FS I didn't know that. For some reason, the page got stuck. It could be my internet connection. Italy was 22:20. Oh, really? Ah, I see. So there's an hour, a couple of hours difference. I see. Yeah, it's a late stream for sure. Click on the flight in the logbook. All right. Let's see. Do we have sufficient? Yeah. All right. So if I go here, and where is my logbook? Flight, flight, flight. There's the flight. And let's see here. Not sure. Flight map. Ah, there we go. Ah, how cool is that? Look at that, guys. How cool. Wow. Very nice. That's us right there, and that's the flight path. Yeah. Very nice. And it shows exactly, you know, where we are. It's you see this ribbon here covering the part that we covered already, and you can just see this, just the line for the remainder of the flight route, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. All right, perfect. All right, we're almost there, folks. About 45, approximately 70 nautical miles in total to our destination. I had a friend, Mansour El Kuwaitan, growing up, who was from Kuwait. Oh, cool. A lot of the guys here in Kuwait are very good with soccer. It's a very popular game. We love playing soccer. I was never really, you know, good at it. I used to manage, but I wasn't very good at it. And we have Ezequiel Fly. How are you doing, my friend? Greetings from Argentina. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Always a pleasure to have folks from Argentina, the World Cup winners. Yeah. Right, we're descending through 20,000 for 3,000 folks, and we are almost at our destination now. And I can't wait to, you know, to get the report from my FS flights. Right. So look at the outside. Just brilliant. We can definitely feel the turbulence. By the way, there is a new update in Sim Update 12 in the under the assistance. It allows you to set the turbulence. By default, it is low, and when it is low, you don't get any of the, you know, what you see, this, the oscillations or the effect, you know, from the outside. You can see the aircraft kind of going up and down, up and down. You will not get any of that with that effect on low. And what I found is, if you put it on realistic, on the realistic setting, the only thing it does, it brings it back to where, you know, where it was before introducing the setting. So I really am not sure what the use is, of that feature. but yeah, it works exactly as it used to before. I don't see any difference in the simulation of turbulence, to be honest. Right, let's go ahead and set barrow. There we go. Excellent. We are almost at our destination. We can see our rings here that we've created, indicating that we're actually very close. This is, by the way, the first circle that you see is the 20 nautical mile ring. So once we are here, it means we are 20 nautical miles from the airport. We're doing okay in terms of the altitude for this sector. We're doing just fine. Oh yes, world champions of soccer, but we are champions on inflation too. All right, that's a nice looking approach here. Here, let's take a look. Look at that, guys. Just brilliant. All right. Switch back to 40 nautical miles. We're getting pretty close now to our destination. Here's a wing view. Look at that. It's quite joyful to fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator, without a doubt. It's very nice to, you know, when I want to relax, you know, Microsoft Flight Simulator offers a lot. And when I want to really focus on learning how to land, or, you know, crosswind landings and things like that, then I definitely turn to X-Plane. Right, 13,000 for 3,000, about 10,000 feet to go to level off at the initial approach altitude for our destination airport. Runway 23 left. We're performing an ILS approach today at runway 23 left. And the weather should be fine. You can take a quick look here. The weather, let's see here. The weather at Auckland is 0103 knots, so everything's pretty calm. Broken at 5,500. Current temperature is 13 Celsius. QNH is 1019. That's about 200. Ah, that's very old. That's an old METAR. Yeah. But things do not look very different from the METAR. Things are pretty calm, looks like. So we're going to have an uneventful approach at Auckland. Right, approaching 10,000. Alright, so we are at 10,900. Good time to turn on the landing lights, runway turn-off lights, and the passenger. There, put it on. Okay, auto and auto. We actually never turned them off. That's okay. And yeah, we are good. We're going to set the auto brake to 2. And we continue the descent. Perfect. "7,000 feet to go." We're going to switch the range to 20 nautical miles, and you can see now at exactly 20 nautical miles here on the display is exactly where our 20 nautical mile ring starts. I'm surprised to see no traffic here. Are you on BatSim? I hear some voices. Roberto, I am using FS Chatter by Stick and Rudder Studios. This is what I'm using here, just if you're wondering. That's what we're using. And departure, now we are approach, destination tower. There we go. Right, we're getting pretty close now. And the airport is now to our left. Alright, here's our turn, and we're going to begin to decel. Alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to vertical speed, and I'm going to start reducing our speed to 180 knots. There we go, 180. We're going to extend the speed brakes to reduce our speed. We're going to keep the rate of descent at 1200 feet per minute. Right, looking good. Engine selectors to continuous. Look at this just beautiful scenery there. Hello there, Omar Flight. Welcome aboard, my friend. Watching my favorite streamer while flying A320. Oh, thank you very much for your kind words, sir. I appreciate it. Right, coming up to our turn. Let's go to 10 nautical miles. For the range, I'm going to remove the profile. Go to 1,000 feet per minute. And at this point, let's come to the next page. And let's say record. And we're going to call this file TRTR. It's going to pause just a little bit. And you can see the glide slope needle coming up. So it will just pause and then it goes again. Alright, so cool. Alright, we can see the glide slope needle. And we are reducing our speed. Let's go ahead and activate the approach. Approach is activated. And let's go ahead and speed check. Flaps 5. Alright, let's go to 160. 64, there we go.
71, you can resume my navigation. The track goes required to join final. Clear visual approach.
Right, the runway is ahead, and we have a visual on the runway.
Over to you, Roger. Join the final terminus heading. Clear visual.
Arm the speed brake.
Final for the heading, clear visual approach. Go.
Landing gear going down. And flaps 15. We are on the glide slope and localizer. There's some turbulence there. Nothing too serious though. Yeah, we have the runway in sight. Excellent. Would have been a nicer approach on the other side. Looks like there's a plane taking off right now. Right, things are looking good. Less than 10 nautical miles to the runway. This is the 10 nautical mile ring that we've created.
And out there, turn right, heading 150 to join final. Clear visual approach.
Landing 150 to join final. Clear visual approach. 150 heading.
I think we need to turn off our engines today. So that my FS flight can record the end of the flight, and then we'll do the replay. There's definitely some wind here. Right, speed check, flaps 25. .134 is our final approach speed. Here we go, 134 is set. Wow, look at this. Look at that. Wow. Alright, and speed check, flaps 30. And we are clear to land, runway 23 left.
Wind is 160 degrees, 8 knots, runway 19, clear to land.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful sight of Auckland. All right, here we go.
1,000.
Autopilot disengaged. My aircraft. And let's just engage the auto throttle as well. All right, good stuff.
1101, runway 19, clear to land. Clear to land, runway 19, clear to land.
Definitely some crosswind there. We're a bit too high, but we can correct that.
Good morning,
Two whites to reds.
500.
We're back on the glide slope and localizer.
Just 058, wind 70 degrees 8 knots, roll through to the end, brake out Alpha 9, runway 19, clear to land. 19, clear to land with a roll, clear to 58, thanks.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Auckland, New Zealand. Reversers are out.
6141, runway 34 right, clear to take off.
80 knots, manual braking.
Dynasty 051, threshold wind 290 degrees, 4 knots.
Excellent.
Exit Alpha 2.
And let's turn the next taxiway here. Brilliant. That was a lot of fun, I must say.
On 32, Tower, good morning.
Right, we are back here, and now of course we have all the data from MyFS flight that will rate us on our landing. Let's retract the flaps.
Contact director 126.
Right, and landing lights can go off. Strobe lights off. All right, perfect. And by the way, this is where we've landed. So in the touchdown zone, 117 FPM, not bad.
6000, turn right 090. 6000, right 090, killing 41.
Thanks, JC. Take care, my friend.
Qantas 161, runway 34 right.
All right, very nice rendition of Auckland, by the way, by Flight Beam Studios. Alright, we're going to come here and park the aircraft at this position. There we go. Wow, very nice airport, really beautiful.
290 degrees 10.
Look at the ground equipment and the airport clutter. All right, parking brake is set, and we don't have the APU, so let me go and start the APU first. We will then turn off the. I'm wondering if we can come back. No, let me shut down the engines. We'll do the replay, even if that means that the engines will be shut. That's okay. We'll leave it there. Alright, we can kill some lights here. We'll leave this on. Anti-collision can go, leave it. Runway turn off lights can go off. And the APU is starting. Excellent. Probe heat. Go off. And we're just waiting for the APU. Right. We'll switch the power to APU power and turn on the APU bleed. Engine bleeds can go off, and we can now shut down engines 1 and 2. And hopefully now if we go to our, it says flight recording, it should stop recording, but maybe it waits for the engine to be completely off. You can view the flight with the engines running. Oh, you can. Okay. All right, perfect. All right, so we've landed now, and I hope it doesn't affect our scores or anything. So let's see if we can come here. I just want to make sure that if we go here to the plan, it's still not marked as complete. So what do we do? What would be the trigger to indicate that the flight is now over?
Good, 421 Delta, runway 01 right, clear for takeoff.
Alright, let's see. Still not showing the plan. Does it take a little bit of time to... you might want to take a look at the stages landing. Looks pretty good.
Crossing 449, contact center on 123-10, good day.
230, lovely, 449 today.
So we are at our destination now. So if I go to flights...
421 Delta, contact departure.
Contact departure, 421 Delta.
Yeah, it still it doesn't look like it has completed the flight yet. It's still recording, so I'm not sure what to do. Click on the logbook flight. Okay, logbook. Okay, that's flights, and we click here. All right. So is it done here? Are we done? All right. So the flight score is 90.7. Departure score 95.5. All right. So since we can see this information, it's safe to go back and stop the recording, and we'll come and take a look. Let me. I know you guys want to see the replay, so let me stop this, and we're gonna load. I believe we called this TRTR. Stop. Doesn't want to stop. All right. Stop. All right. Load. And let's see. Where is it? TRTR. I think that's what I called the file. There we go. And we've loaded. Right. We can click on play. There we go. Excellent. I think that's right about here is good.
Traffic. Adjust vertical speed. Adjust.
Takes a little bit of time to load everything again. Maybe the second replay would look better as it keeps loading. You can see it's loading the scenery. Just a beautiful sight, really, of the airport, the scenery, the aircraft. Everything just looks so nice in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm using flight control replay for the replays. There is also Sky Dolly, and there's, by the way, in beta, in one of the developer features, in the beta features, or beg your pardon, experimental features, there is a replay tool as well that works perfectly well. But this is a payware application that I'm using. Allows you to do a lot more things. Look at this, guys. Look at this beautiful view of the 736 arriving into Auckland. Yeah. That was actually pretty good landing. Yeah. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come here, and we're gonna bring this all the way back here, and remove that. All right. Perfect. Everything's shut down. All right. Perfect. So what we can do now, folks, is, by the way, we can go to GSX, and we'll say select deboarding.
The boarding requested.
Failed to restart. Please run live update. No. No, alright, we'll do a live update later. Looks like there is some update that is required. Alright. So that's besides the point, because we want to really look at my FS flights, and but here's a look at Auckland Airport, which is really nice. All right, okay, so let's bring up the report, and here is now very interesting. If we look at the summary, we have a final flight score of 90.7, not bad. A departure score of 95.5, en route score of 87.3. This is probably affected by the time compression that we've used. Arrival score 89.4. Again, not bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at the details. So first, let's look at the stages. All right. So if you look here. Look at this. Again, it says departure taxi to runway 02 at Church Christ. Distance from parking to runway was 1.5 nautical miles. Duration is 10.2. Now, by the way it does this I think, is it's going to calculate the distance and figure out the speed at which we were taxiing, and it probably at some stages of the taxi it was a bit too fast. And that is why probably we're not getting... thank you very much, Sly Bonga. Thank you very much. Captain, your colors, PF of the sim are default, or you did some settings change? They're all default, Roberto. No changes whatsoever. Departure climb to 50 feet, AGL from the runway, 99.8. Departure climb to 400 from 02. Again, that's departure climb 2, departure to 1000. Again, 100% there on all their good scores there. Departure roll wasn't so good at 87.8, altitude 121 feet. Roll acceleration was 0.27 G. Liftoff speed was 144, and you've got your temperature, crosswind, and headwinds. This one here, en route climb, says climb started overhead Canberra, New Zealand from 1,000 feet ASL to 38,000, an increase of 37,000 in 16.6 minutes. Climb distance was 106 nautical miles, finishing overhead Stans Creek. So I guess this was probably too fast for... so yeah, it says climb speed 239 knots. Minimum it looks like the target is 185 knots, and we were climbing at a much higher speed, and that's probably not very comfortable for the passengers. Hence we get the lower score here. Very, very nice applications. Really, you can really study your approach and what you've done. Arrival rollout, landing rollout on runway 23. Auckland was 136. Declaration was 0.4 Gs. The runway exit speed was 25 knots. So we get penalized for that as well. Arrival taxi, parking 23. Distance to parking was alright, wasn't too bad. Now you can go to the takeoff report, and you have all the details here. You can click for more information, as we've done earlier, but we can also go to the landing report. Now the landing report shows glide slope alignment too low, excellent heading alignment. 81.6 height at threshold was low, landing descent profile too low, the approach speed was good approach heading, wings level, and stable landing. So we got there in 81.6. That's pretty cool. You know, that's pretty cool. Now this is really aside from the FPM, this is actually what really matters. If you want to really say whether your landing was a good landing, so this was obviously a B landing. Yeah, if I take an average, it's a B. It's a low B, so it's a B minus landing. And this is now how you can actually rate your landings. Visually, it looked perfect, but look at so many things that were not correct during this landing and flare profile. 68.2, speed at threshold 141. And the average G-force was 105. Average speed 138 knots. 138 knots minimum to max 141. Very, very nice. Very nice details. And by the way, you can go to, if you guys go now to the landing history. Why do we have two? It looks like it's got now one for the replay as well. That's why we've got a 0 here. So hang on, let me go to this one. How do I go to this? It has counted the touchdown at 133. It counted the replay as well. All right. So that's our landing report, and if we go to here, let's see. By the way, you can add your comments as well. You can add flight tags if you want. But if we go to home now, let's go home. All right. So now the flight appears to have been completed. It's been 8 minutes since your last flight, and this is our flight here. Now it has plotted my profile against the global score, which is kind of like the global score. In some areas better, some areas worse. And if I say view flight map, all right. So now you can actually see how beautiful this is shown here for the final stage of our. That's the climb, arrival, final, and this is Auckland. And you have all the stages here where you can click on them and you get more details. So this is final 2. This is where we've done very well. Final 1, we've done fairly well. It's a B minus there. And touchdown. On touchdown, actually, we got 97%. So actually, it was a very good touchdown. Yeah, there seems to be a bug there. That's all right. No worries. No worries at all. So again, here's how we've done as far as the touchdown is concerned. Touchdown VSI was 120 feet per minute, so a little better than the what the landing rate plugin was giving us. Touchdown distance was 58 meters, target 57 meters. Speed at touchdown 134 knots. The target was 132. 100% there, 100% on the touchdown distance. On the runway alignment, we've got a 92, very good. Average bank angle 0.4, and again we've done 100%. We've got the perfect score on the average G-force. The average, I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty good. Yeah. So, and by the way, look, it gives you all the information also for the land. So touchdown 23 left at Auckland International, 58 meter threshold. To main gear touchdown, landing speed was 134 knots, 71 meters. Temperature 21.3 Celsius, wind 2 knots at 0 degrees, crosswind 2 knots, tailwind 1 knot. How brilliant is that? Very detailed. I love how you can actually visually look at everything related to your flight, your approach, your climb. Just really brilliant. Very, very good work by MyFS Flight. And now we have, by the way, if you go to the stats, that's another area I did not show you earlier. But now this is something I really like as well, because it will tell you how many flights you've done, activities this week, flights, how many hours, airports, 4 airports, countries, 2 countries, regions are 3, and the flight score, flight departure score. So this is kind of the cumulative score, and you can see exactly all the airports that you've been to, the type of aircraft that you've flown, the countries, top countries, and the regions as well. So you can see we are at Canterbury, Auckland in California, United States and New Zealand, and all these airports. Just really very, very well-made application for those of you who are looking to polish their flying skills in the sim, and it really does provide a lot of information. Captain, those program evaluate you as a pilot also. Yeah, for sure. So it's actually very good. Now, one thing we'll go. There is of course a help section, and if I go here, from this menu you have your profile. So you can go to your profile, and here it just says this is Q8 pilot. This is my fly stage comparison, my recent flights, and all the aircraft I've flown, the favorite countries, and you can also go to the settings. From the settings, it's got my, I can just put my email and the units, show flights on the leaderboard, count email, and things like that. So again, if you want to receive marketing messages, you can set that there. Also, what I'd like to show you guys real quick is, let me go to your settings. All right. So in the MyFS Flight Center, this is a client that runs, and when you actually come for the first time, you need to log into your account, and then you need to select MSFS version of your simulator, whether it's a store, box, or Steam, or X-Plane. Works for both. Works for P3D version 4, version 5, works with X-Plane 11 and 12. Just brilliant. And you have to just set the 2D screen capture folder. And I've set this for Microsoft Flight Simulator and the VR screenshots folder as well. And then you're pretty much good to go. This program auto starts with your computer. You can disable it from the start menu, from the task manager if you don't want it to start. But you can just leave it there. It will automatically start and start logging flights once you are in the sim. All right, so one more thing. I'm going to log out. So, all right, so let me log out. All right, so the reason I wanted to log out is to show you guys the feature comparison. So the only difference between Starter, Pro, and Ultimate is that flights per year with the Starter plan is 120, with the Pro 360, with the Ultimate is unlimited. And the screenshots is 50 for Pro, nothing for Starter, and 50 for the Ultimate. Map styles, again, this is what I've shown you during the session today, is you can change the map style with the Ultimate version. You've got all the other features in all 3 plans, and the monthly subscription is £1 for the Starter plan, £2 for the Pro, and £3 for the Ultimate. And I think, guys, this is really a very reasonable price for what the application does, and considering the roadmap, which includes Navigraph and SimBrief integration. Again, guys, this application is not for everyone. I think if you are very serious about monitoring your performance, understanding how well you're doing. If you really want to improve on your skills, this application will definitely help you analyze your takeoffs, your climb, your approach, your landing, and it tells you what are the maximums, so that you know what is the allowable threshold or maximum threshold for the best score, so that you can improve and train on those areas where you are lacking. Well, folks, this is it. I hope that this was a useful and insightful. The app can be purchased. Stan, the app is available in the description of the stream if you click there. But let me just put this real quick for you guys as well. It's my FS flight. Let me copy that and go back to YouTube once more. And let me go to your channel. Right. And let me just put it here in chat for you. There you go. All right. So, ooh, what is that? All right. So, so I hope that this was an insightful and useful stream for you guys, and that you've enjoyed the flight as well as my FS flights. Thank you very much, my FS flights, for being with us throughout the stream and for providing me with access to the application. I thoroughly enjoyed the stream and thoroughly enjoyed really looking at this rather detailed application. The best, I think, in terms of providing you with performance data and analysis and tracking of your flight. All right, well, this I think brings us to the end of our late stream this evening. I want to thank you all for being here, and until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and bye-bye for now.
Delta, heading 350, passing on Jet 900 on Cockpit. 2762 Delta, identified track direct Sunshine Coast, climb to flight level 180.